Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Townsville Stadium for the game between the Logan Thunder and your Townsville Flames. I'm joined again this week by with Carl Ward. Mark Roble cannot make it tonight. He's
resting.
He's resting somewhere. Had some surgery. Just
Brisbane.
returned from collecting another gold medal. A bit of a medal whisperer, so we know he's tuning in, so welcome Mark Roble, but what a tantalizing matchup we have here tonight. A bit of a different roster than we saw last time with Townsville. We were just talking about all the changes. Wardy, do you want to walk us through those?
Yeah, well, obviously for Townsville, they've got 3 players away on national duties in Abby Bishop, Michaela Cox and Alex Fowler, and that's going to be a huge out for Townsville Flames. I mean, that's 50 points of their scoring out the door.
Wow.
With those 3 missing. So we're going to see a really young lineup for both teams, really.
Right.
And Logan have obviously lost their starting point guard in Michaela Can, who's pregnant.
And replaced her with a starting center here, Brittany Carter, I believe. So I'm not sure how you prepare for that, but congratulations to Michaela Donnelly, birth of her child expected in January, I believe. But they start Ashtea Alana Fraser, is that right? Alana Fraser, yes, from Townsville Junior.
Yep.
Michaela Roof. Trying to pick out the other numbers from here.
Ashley Taya is out there.
Number 11, is that Jaden?
Jaden.
How about you give me the surname there and we'll just go with that one.
Okay. Fuieva.
Fuieva, all right, there we go.
Apologies if that isn't the correct pronunciation.
Someone can text me. Someone who knows me can text me. For Townsville, Rachel McCulley, Lisa Brennan, Alicia Froling, who was part of that gold medal winning Emerging Ovals team, Eliza Fabro, and Harriet Carey. I mean, Townsville had been going hot. They'd won 5 in a row, I believe. Oh, here's McCulley all the way to the paint.
That's a good start for Rach. She sliced there pretty easily. Yeah, Townsville on a 7-game winning streak, in fact.
7, wow.
7 games, and that includes 5 or 6 on the road. So I think it's 5 games on the road.
Oh, they're going to call a foul down to Harriet. Way to body up. A good matchup there for Harriet. I mean, a really tough matchup. Ashtea, who played with the Spartans last year, played Adelaide Lightning in the WNBL. Strong-bodied, good American career. A Roof with the elbow jumper, no good.
Froling picking up where she left off with another rebound. And Logan have been in some good form too. They had a 5-game winning streak going before last weekend. They split they had a 2-game weekend last weekend, beating Gold Coast.
Good patience there, Alicia Froling.
And then they lost to the Ipswich Force on the Sunday. So that ended their winning streak of 5. So they're in good form as well.
And where do they sit on the ladder, Logan Thunder?
They're 6th at the moment, and
right,
the Flames in 3. So yeah, it's a big game for Logan, because the way it may pan out is that Townsville are on the rise. They may get to a top 2 finish, and you desperately wouldn't want to finish 7th and 8th, I don't think, for a quarterfinal matchup against the Spartans or Townsville when they've got.
Well, that's right. And I remember talking to Luke Brennan a few weeks ago before they went on the road around surviving July, really. There was a lot of lineup changes and anything could go their way, but they did a great job. Oh, and Eliza Fabro off the left hand. That's not the same kid I coach. What improvements she's made in her game.
She's an offensive juggernaut over the last 4 or 5 weeks.
But Luke had been talking about surviving this month with all the lineup changes that he was going to experience, and as he sends out all those players we previously mentioned and welcomes back Alicia Froling, who will now be expected to carry a big burden.
Great pass from Taya.
Harriet picks up her 2nd foul there, and I'm just checking on the bench, and an early substitute. You might have the scouting report on this one. Shaylee Ward will check in, and so we have 3 point guards here for Townsville.
Yep, we have the very young, the very old, and someone who fits in the middle.
But you know, this is the QBL. This is what you have to do when you attract this level of talent, is that sometimes they're not available, and you just have to make rosters work.
That's right. And Townsville have done a really good job because they have had Froling missing the last couple of weeks, and so they knew this was going to happen, and this is going to continue on over the next few weeks until I think they may have a full roster come quarter-final time, which will be a really big plus. The first time they've had that particular squad together.
As center for the corner three. Oh, in and out. Oh, great hustle back from Lisa Brennan. Corner three. First player down the floor. Bodies up. Good offense still from Roof. Roof is a good-sized player. She averaged a double-double in the WNBL before she went down with an ACL injury a few years ago, so she is a legitimate talent here.
Yeah, she's going to cause Townsville some problems, especially when Froling's not in the game, because Townsville lose considerable size when she's not in there.
Well, and what a great find there from Alicia Brennan on the duck-in. You mentioned Alicia Froling when she's not in the game. I don't think that's going to happen. Unless there's any foul trouble, I would expect Alicia Froling tonight to play 70 minutes.
Yeah, no, you would expect that, but foul trouble...
Oh, that's a foul there from Ashtea, sorry.
Foul trouble may be the only thing that stops her from completing a full 40. But I think there's an opportunity for Bree Stevens to play some serious minutes in that 4-5 spot.
Well, you and I both watched the game, the live stream last week brought to us by the Brisbane Capitals, and they did a great job of that. Thank you for that vision. And we were exchanging messages, and what a great game she played off the bench. Were those her first minutes this year?
I'm not sure they were her first minutes, but if it wasn't, she's only played the 1 or 2 minutes here and there. So, yeah, no, she excelled, and I think on the back of that, she deserves, to be put in the game with some confidence by the coach, because she didn't let him down last week, that's for sure.
And Abby Bishop's 40 minutes need to be replaced. Alex Fowler plays 25 to 28 minutes a game, so there's certainly an opportunity there for someone to step into those.
Taya with a nice backdoor cut. Eliza Fabro caught napping, and easiest of twos.
I imagine Rachel slots in here at that 3 spot, just that veteran head. Ward, corner 3.
That's long.
Dad would have made that.
Fabro, the scoring juggernaut, continues with an offensive board.
I'm just looking down, like Kip Locks is probably one of those 3-4s that is going to have to be part of that rotation, but she missed that Brisbane Capitals game. I didn't find out why, but...
Yeah, no, she actually played really well. I thought she had to step in last week on the road in the first game, and I'm not sure why she wasn't... I think it may have been injury or something the last 2 games, but...
Double team there on Froling, kick out to Brennan. 10 on the shot clock. Set shot corner, top of the key, 3, no good.
And the Flames continuing on with their want to shoot the 3 ball. Cheap offensive board, but weren't punished. As Fuieva missed the easy offensive putback.
Ward did a good job there. They had conceded the points. Offensive rebound, just dug it in and tipped it out of bounds. As we'll see Logan check in, Neferteli Natoa. Several weeks ago, we spoke about those Ipswich juniors doing a great job in the southeast corner about developing their players, and she played her whole junior career, I believe, with Ipswich. Came across to Logan this year, and she's had some really big games for them, so it'll be interesting to see.
She's a definite junior talent. She had a great under-18 nationals tournament here in Townsville back in April, and I think she got herself an invite to an Australian selection camp, so she's definitely a player to watch.
Yeah, came back from injury earlier in the year. I think we saw her at the state champs that I was at. She was a bit underdone at that point, but by the time nationals rolled around, she was a handful for everyone who came across, and a well-deserved silver medal for that group. New coach for Logan as well this year, Braden Hesselhurst, came across from the men's program on the Sunshine Coast. So he's in his first year coaching these women.
And I think they've done a pretty good job to be sitting 6th. They're in the finals mix. It's going to be tight down the stretch these last 3 games or so. So it's a big weekend for them this weekend. They could probably sew up a final spot if they had a good double this weekend.
Out of that pick and roll, Townsville finds nothing. 8 on the shot clock. Fabro with the ball. They give it to Brennan. 5, left hand spin move, come back right, no good.
It was a great move. She got herself to the right spot. I'm not sure she'd be happy to give away that cheap foul. That's only her first personal though, but they certainly don't want their bigs getting in foul trouble, Townsville. That will hurt them.
And on that 7-game winning streak, I'm not sure that Abby Bishop has been there for all of them, but what she gave them was that elite presence on the perimeter, go-to scorer, and confidence in her teammates that they could throw her the ball and she would make something happen. She's been an absolute MVP candidate since she's arrived here in Townsville.
Roof with a nice turnaround. Left-hand jumper. Cuts the margin back to 1. Brennan has it outside the 3. Townsville a little stagnant in offense. Frolling. Bailout pass across to Fabro. She shakes.
Little shake and bake.
And can't get the shot to go, but great hustle.
Frolling. Took that out of bounds, though. Kiplocks will check in here, and I guess this helps Townsville go to a bit more traditional lineup. Kiplocks at the 3, Brennan at the 4, Frolling at the 5 with Ward and McCulley in the backcourt. Let's see if that helps their spacing a little bit, too.
Good help D from Townsville. I think Taya saw she had Brennan on her and liked the chances from the perimeter. McCulley, a tough take to the hoop.
Well defended by Roof there, who came up with the block, the rebound. They give it to Carter on the break. Good defense from Lisa Brennan there, just walling up.
Yep.
Not fouling. Townsville come up with it.
Game's just got a little bit of pace now as McCulley gets a good look.
Buries the triple!
That'll do her confidence.
And they'll need that, right? So whatever Rachel was giving them previously, they need that plus 8. Everyone's going to need to step up and fill the scoring gap left by. Oh, what a big block from Alicia Frolling. Hesselhurst asking the question whether it was a foul. My completely unbiased opinion was no, that was clean. Oh,
we got a reach-in foul on Taya. Both teams happy to play the up-tempo game. There's been a couple of...
And I wonder if it would be the Logan's advantage to actually try to slow things down a bit and force Townsville into these, to test the rotations and defense with these unusual lineups that they're forced to play.
Well, I think we've seen earlier that Townsville's offense, once it is in the half court, has been pretty stagnant, and they've had to bail out with a couple of 3 balls and that on late shot clock. So I think their coach should be really trying to slow them down. We got a bad turnover as Brennan loses control.
And that's some of that unfamiliarity. We were having Lisa Brennan now being the ball handler in the ball screen as opposed to her probably more comfortable screening action there. But an excellent passer.
Yeah, excellent passer.
Oh, great deflection from Ward. Stealing it from young Danny Bays, one of those silver medalists from that under-18 Queensland South group. Great find inside, Frolling to Brennan.
Yeah. Working nicely, that combination. That's twice now we've seen an easy bucket off a good pass.
They're really going to have to make sure they close out hard on Carter. We talked about her ability to knock down that 3-point shot, but inside, Roof keeps it alive for herself. They find her. Short corner jumper is good, cuts the lead to 4. Ward in transition. Off the left hand to Brennan. Oh, good job by Kiplocks there to contest the offensive rebound. Tips it to McCulley. And here we go again, big on big. They just switch it. Kick it out to Ward. That 3 is off the back iron, no good. Another tip offensive rebound.
Townsville doing a great job of keeping that ball alive.
Well, anytime Roof's inside, she's a danger on the boards, but if they can drag her out, there's not really much size for Logan, so Townsville's ability to not find people in transition is going to be a problem. But on the offensive rebounds, if they can drag Roof out and give themselves opportunities, but they'll have to be able to convert those.
Great. Oh, cut. Nice block with Frolling.
Nice consistency from the refs there. What they were arguing about, that shot was blocked.
And Carter listed in my program as with the big C next to her name for centre.
Yes.
But from what I'm seeing there, she's the most agile centre going around in the league.
That's right. So she's got a big number. She's got C next to her name, but she's perhaps not necessarily at that position. So maybe she's more of a wing player. She's long, she's athletic, and maybe they would ideally like to play her at the center. Maybe the Great Pacific Shrink happened as well.
I'm going with the fact that Townsville are now notifying their patrons that this player wears contact lenses, and that's what the C's for. It's the only thing I can put it down to is Ruth.
Oh,
that left-hand jumper is deadly. She's hit 3 good mid-range jumpers, and that gives Logan a 1-point lead inside the last minute of the first quarter. Bree Stevens checks into the game.
She's just going to need to be aggressive. We both know Bree quite well and might be intimidated by this type of game. Fabro not intimidated at all by playing this next level. Played a rookie season last year with me, and it's just gone to such a different level under Luke Brennan this year.
Yeah, no, she's playing really well, shooting the ball extremely well, which is not her noted thing. Is McCulley and Ward managed to shake the ball loose.
They're going to look to use the shot clock here.
The veteran play, McCulley has it in her hand, so Townsville are in safe hands.
I didn't catch too many of the emerging Opals games. Alicia Froling, though. Oh, they're going to call McCulley for the 5-second guarded.
That may be the first one this year and the only one this year, because I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it in ages. And, I can't remember the last time I actually saw that call.
Commentators curse, just telling me safe hands with McCulley, and of all people to get a 5-second, and Townsville are going to get left with 3.6 to go the full length of the floor here. And
bit of a rush shot there from Carter.
It was. There's no need to go that early. Stevens.
Oh,
McCulley
great
gets that
find.
Good look from the 3.
Oh, good. Wow. So, well, you know, it's sort of an interesting first quarter there. Both teams trying to adapt to these line changes. Donnelly would have been a massive loss for them. Someone who organized them, who would have, I'm sure, consulted with Hesselhurst around the style of play that they wanted. All of a sudden, you lose that leader at that point guard position, and you ask people to play different roles. As good as Brittany Carter might be, she still has to find her combinations with these new teammates.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is Michaela would be creating a lot of space for these other players in the lineup, and at this stage we haven't seen anyone really trouble Townsville off the dribble and create space. So it's sort of been Ruth one out, making mid-range jumpers, and that's keeping them alive. And they did hustle early on the boards, a couple of good offensive boards early. So I think that was just a teaser to what'll open up in the next 3 quarters.
I mean, if you were Logan, you came to Townsville and you said, well, you're going to play them without Abby Bishop, you're going to play them without Alex Fowler and Michaela Cox, you'd be feeling pretty confident. So, you know, they're only down by 2, but they're very much in this game. And in terms of star power, you might give the advantage to the more proven Michaela Ruth and Ash Taya for Logan. On the flip side for Townsville, Harriet Carey's in early foul trouble. She's got 2. She's their most natural 3-man.
And she's a confidence player, and you know, coming out so early after only 2 minutes on the floor, that may have a psychological effect on her for the rest of the game. And because she needs to be positive, she's going to shoot the ball well. So,
and Alicia Froling, who would very much have celebrated that gold medal for the emerging Opals, I would have, and then jumped on the plane, feeling, you know, a little bit tired, a little bit underdone, and being asked to play, you know, a massive role back here for Townsville.
Yeah, it may be the back end that determines this thing. I mean, Brennan's going to log big minutes, McCulley and Froling, who's stepped off an international tournament. So, you know, to come the 4th quarter, they may be thinking, Logan, young team, playing their young under-18s a lot too. Bays is on there, Natoa was on, so they'll be able to run out the game strong.
They run Carter off the 3-point line. Natoa gets a good look, can't convert. Speaking of young lineups, Townsville also putting out 3 teenagers at the moment with Froling and McCulley. Another key absence here for Townsville is their manager, Kate Bennett. Not here tonight. Bit of a motherly type, looking after everybody, making sure everyone's organized. So I'd give Kate Bennett at least 8 to 12 points a game.
and she'd be wanting us to say that too. There's no doubt about it. But I just noticed, looking down the bench, she's been ably replaced by the one and only Magella Carey by the look of it. So Kate's position may be in jeopardy, and there was a couple of
travel.
steps. Yeah, and she manages to get it back.
Wow. All right, and a shot clock violation, but she got a bit of a Kawhi Leonard bounce on that shot there.
Wow.
Look, she's played in big leagues. She's carried teams. I know she played for Launceston for a while.
The concern there for Townsville is just the ease at which they're getting the offensive rebounds in that zone defense.
The spacing right now not really great for Townsville.
Logan in a 2-3.
A lot of unfamiliarity in terms of role expectation. Having to throw it up. Another shot clock expiry. So on this end of the floor, we saw Logan not be able to get a shot off. Townsville answers with a 25-second violation of their own.
So zone defense at both ends. Bayes, a good shooter, doesn't hit it on this occasion, and McCulley bobs up with the board. Stevens extra pass to Ward.
Oh, it's unlucky. I mean, not unlucky. It's a great read there from Carter off the hand, but I wonder if Stevens had thrown that pass back to the corner. It was a wide open three for Ward. That just a little bit loose here. You know, this 2-3 zone's a little bit confident, seeing that poor spacing that Townsville displayed, knowing that they can get into those passing lanes and recover quite easily. So Townsville really needs to stretch the floor, get into those corners, and, you know, play above that free throw line for their wing players.
A couple of substitutions, Carey and Brennan back in, Ward and Stevens out.
Carey, who's known to be quite streaky, we've spoken about that on several occasions. She had a great game actually last weekend on the road. Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul on Taya. She is a strong woman.
Yeah.
And if you're not prepared, she very well could bowl you over.
And Fabro's strong as well, and she knocked her over like she.
That's her third foul, though.
Oh,
that's
wow.
Ash Taya's third foul.
Well, that hurts.
That's a big loss there for Logan to have to sit Ash Taya with 7:40 left in the first quarter.
McCulley off the on ball from Brennan. Kick out. Fabro's been hot. She can't get it to go this time. Cleaned up by Bayes, and Logan are off with Carter.
I would expect Logan to keep in that 2-3 zone until Townsville will show 2 good offensive possessions in a row to worry them.
That's
a wide open look there for Roof, who that is a money shot for her. Oh, in transition, Carey. Oh,
great pass from McCulley.
That length of Froling is good.
Yeah. I'd like to see Froling look to score, though, off a couple of those offensive boards. I think she's too quick to throw it out.
Oh, ducking inside. Oh, tough catch and finish from Froling. A little dump pass from Harriet Carey through 3 defenders. Great hands from Alicia Froling to gather it low and finish it high.
That'll be good for her. If she can get a couple of points early, I think that might help her want to shoot the ball a little more. I think she passes up too many opportunities as Carter penetrates.
Triple teamed to Natoa.
Can't get it.
Oh, and they tip it around. Fabro comes up with it. Another great decision from Fabro, and we credited her a few weeks ago with being able to recognize opportunities and when it's not on. Skip out McCulley. Baseline drive. Oh, off the right hand, can't finish though.
Townsville missing some opportunities here to put a little break on Logan.
Well, this isn't the 90 to 100 point Townsville lineup at their full strength, so
Carter gets
they're going to have to make those opportunities count for them.
Yeah. Like I said, you take 50 points, which is the combined scoring of...
Oh, great transition layup there from Fabro. Bounce pass from McCulley. Just a recognition of an opportunity for some early points as we're talking about where they're going to be able to find some easy scores from.
I think those Townsville players, they know if they run the lanes hard, McCulley is not going to miss them. You know, she's going to throw that ball. She has the ability to throw it from 3/4 court.
Yep. And she'd prefer to do that. You know,
Yeah,
she doesn't want to be dribbling the air out of the ball.
Yeah.
She has her head up from the time that shot is launched from Logan. So
And a couple of times we've seen, Ward, Fabro get in behind the defence there, and they're easy buckets.
And that's the difficulty, I suppose, also for Brittany Carter to be sort of parachuted into a team, is to assimilate all this information around what are the people, the various team strengths, and to understand a full scout like you and I might, because we've seen these players over the years. So, and they'll be playing Cairns, I assume. Well, if not tomorrow, then on Sunday.
Yeah, I'd assume they'd be up there tomorrow night. It's normally always a double. So it'll be a big weekend for them, because Cairns, they'd be thinking that they should be able to get the Dolphins tomorrow night. But this would be a big one for them, and they're not going to get Townsville at any easier stage than they are without the big three, as we've mentioned. So they'd really want to cash in tonight if they can.
And speaking of big ones, there's a great game going on tonight in Rockhampton. Number 1 versus number 2. The Lady Spartans are traveling up to Rockhampton to face the Cyclones. Spartans are undefeated. Cyclones sit on 2 losses, but a win tonight very much puts them in contention for first spot overall.
And it may come down to that Rockhampton-Townsville game in the last round, which is going to be a cracker in this ladies for a top 2 finish. So if Rocky could pinch one against Districts, that may just about snuff Townsville out of a top 2 potentially.
Well, and not only that, but the margin that Townsville would need to overcome.
Yeah, they lost heavily.
It was a 20-something.
Yeah. So it's big for Rocky. These last 3 games are going to be really big for these
Bays
finals.
is not going to die wondering. That's her third 3 so far. Yeah. But they need someone to be able to knock it down. So I don't see Hesselhurst being too critical about her taking open 3-pointers.
Yeah. And I think it's good. It'll stretch Townsville's zone, and that's if they can get Ruth those foul line touches and that, she's lethal with that left hand. So,
and she's a great offensive rebounder as well. Yeah. So if she's going to be coming in from that weak side, from a corner 3, from a young player like Danny Bays, then they might back themselves to go, well, we'll get another shot at it. Carter's weakness.
Carter misses the first. We've got a 4-point quarter for Logan and 4 for Townsville, so it hasn't been...
Fuava. I'm sorry? Fuava. Thank you, Mark Roble, for that correction earlier on. Do that high post catch. Give it to Froling, double teamed. Tipped from Carter. Carey, 3-pointer. Off the backboard, Fabro. Offensive rebound, putback.
Fabro has been dynamite. She's single-handedly carrying this team.
Early MVP candidate for Townsville.
Right now, she's got both hands on it.
I don't say.
Couldn't get the offense.
Block from behind from Brennan, but Fuava comes up with the offensive rebound, putback, and it's good.
It's even from Brisbane. Mark Roble is showing that he is king and still running the show, correcting us at every.
The metal whisperer, Mark Roble. Mark Roble, who won with the Emerging Opals, won with the under-17 gold medal, the first under-18 Queensland North gold medal in girls' history. He's got a few with the Fire as well.
Matoa turns down the open 3. Now Carter. Good help from Brennan. Nice pass from Carter. And she scores. And Logan lead 25-24. 3 minutes 47 left in the second.
It doesn't take much, just 2 good offensive possessions. Saw them come back from a 4-point deficit to a 1-point lead. So
it all started with Natoa, who turned down that 3, and good patience is rewarded.
A good time out there from Luke Brennan, just understanding the tempo of this game. They're not going to see big stretches, and any chance to sort of stem a run of 2 good possessions is enough for him to call a timeout and get his group organized. Might just use this opportunity to check on that score of the Logan game, not the Logan game, the Rockhampton game. Oh, tight game. Rockhampton up 28-27 with 6:27 left to go in the second period.
The Spartans have definitely been tested over the last few weeks. Keeping an eye on a few of their games, they've actually trailed and you know, been in close tussles in a lot of their games. So I don't think the gap's widening between the undefeated team and the rest of the chasing pack.
I just think one of the biggest things to account for when you're playing the Spartans is Aja Parham. Aja Parham is an unrestricted player that just adds so much to any group. So tonight I see that she's already on, in 13 minutes, she's already on 14 points.
Yeah, so
she's willing to play a role. She's willing to step up and be you know, a go-to player if required.
That's a second personal foul on Brennan. She was left isolated in transition.
And if she were to get in foul trouble, then that really puts you know, Coach Brendan and Townsville in a difficult position to think of who would assume a lot of those minutes at the 4 spot. I would assume Kiplocks has to shift down to the 4, but that's still a really small lineup for them.
Yeah.
Brendan, who's been sort of Townsville's most consistent starter this year. She's been in every game, came out of retirement for Coach Brennan to be able to help him out and has really cemented her role in this group.
Well, she's been the one consistent thing in this group because everyone else has been in and out, so she has been the mainstay of the group. And I don't even think, you know, she all...
Floater here from McCulley's good, and they needed that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought they would expect Brendan to play so many minutes at the start of the year. I mean, it was coming because we're short on numbers, and that's a nice move.
That is a great move. A little offhander.
Yeah. Because Frolling's got such a long reach, so you've got to protect that thing when you go up. You can't just wave it out there. She's going to get a piece of it. So smart play is Carey. She needs one to drop. Her threes aren't even close at the moment. So great move from Frolling.
Hasselhurst calling for a foul that came over the weak side across the forearm. I think when he watches that one on video, he'll see that that was probably a foul. Shaylee Browning here checks in for Harriet Carey. She's one of the young ones early on this year who got a lot of burn and an opportunity to, you know, contribute and just feel a part of the lineup. And that is possibly what might help her tonight to understand, like, she's been here before, get a good grasp of her role and the expectations of her. And
I think she'll grab some confidence from the fact that on the opposing team is 3 players that she's played against consistently over her junior career.
Great find from Fuava.
That's
too easy.
Yeah, it's just too easy at the moment. It's layups. And Townsville aren't forcing any contested shots at all.
And that's a bit of the fatigue factor, I think, from Froling, you know, who just got off that plane from Italy.
Yeah. And it's having the high work rate on the offensive end is definitely having an impact on their defensive rebounding at the moment, because they are giving up way too many boards. As Kiplocks off the inbounds play can't get to go.
Froling keeps it alive, though, for Brennan to come and get it.
Just really stagnant. Loose.
Didn't see that coming.
Carter swipes it away. She's one-on-one v Kiplocks. Shoots a tough fadeaway. And Roof again.
I don't know what her stats are. Of the size difference.
Up shot this early in the ball game. But they definitely need a bucket here. Good skip past Browning. That's her spot. She loves the corners. Even she can't get to go, but great boards from Froling.
Great job from Froling to get to that one.
Referees are going to signal a jump ball. And the arrow in favour of Logan.
Hasselhurst quite happy with that decision there by the referees.
Big defensive play from Townsville here.
And I'm just watching Alicia Froling right now. She is really tired.
Yeah, and Roof is going to work on it too. She knows. Yeah. And it's
3 in the key. They're going to call it the other way. And Luke Brennan got that call from asking the question from referee John. Surname escapes me at the moment.
Johnny Fenwick.
Townsville comes back the other way. What a big turn that is. You know, that's a 4-point swing.
Frolling with a great feed too. Heads up play, McCulley. Run a hard cut.
McCulley as well in terms of, you know, fatigue. She's not young anymore, and she missed the whole preseason. She helped out. Great rebound there from Browning.
Oh, she nearly got away with a walk.
Oh, didn't. That's some of that fatigue factor that I was trying to allude to. McCulley not sensing the block coming from behind.
Oh, poor turnover.
Turns it over.
2 seconds. Carter's got to get it up, and she does.
And it's good. And it's good. Townsville. I mean, Logan actually finishing on a big run there. They take the lead 36-28.
On the back of a couple of costly turnovers.
Yep, and, you know, we talked about Michaela Cox not being here tonight, coming in late. And just that unfamiliarity and, you know, some unusual turnovers there and maybe poor shot selections from Rachel have led to some points for Logan.
Yeah.
But this is also the feature of what we were talking about earlier around they're trying to manufacture some points that aren't coming naturally. So
that's right. They're unfamiliar territory. McCulley's got to shoulder a huge load, huge responsibility with the distribution. Normally she'd be getting a few more minutes rest. She can toss the ball over to Cox, who's got the ability to create and score as well. So it's a different look Townsville Flames outfit, and it's shown on the scoreboard right at the moment. But the game's definitely in the balance. I mean, the Townsville are definitely not out of it. They just got to regroup and find a way. They haven't shot the ball well from the outside.
That's right.
You know, Fabro's probably been the exception, but yeah, they'll be hoping to get some.
If you're Logan, though, you're feeling quite comfortable.
Yeah.
8 points on the road. Ash Taya, who's one of your main weapons, had to sit with 3 fouls early on. So
and I think it's the way they're scoring.
Fresh.
The way they're scoring their points too. I mean, they're scoring a lot of layups. They're getting offensive boards. They're scoring in transition. Yeah, they're converting off steals. So they haven't had to work overtime for their points, which. That helps with fatigue as well down the stretch. So
Townsville's going to have to tighten up some of that stuff and ask some of the younger players to up their commitment physically to be able to bump cutters and, you know, for some of those open looks that we saw early on to not be so open.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about a 28-36 game. We're under 70 points per team, so everything's very much in reach. It's going to come down to a lot of that commitment and effort stuff, and for some of these young players to play a little bit of a role that they're not necessarily comfortable with. You know, it's not open threes and layups here. Some of it's that physicality. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes' time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Townsville Stadium, where Logan lead Townsville 36-28. 1 minute left here to go before we tip off the second half. Carl Ward, you and I had a chance to talk about that first half and the things that really went in the favor of Logan, and what Townsville really needs to do in terms of that second half. So there's no go-to scorer for Townsville. They're going to have to manufacture some points. They're going to have to look after the ball a little bit better. They're going to have to be predictable in terms of their shot selection so they don't give up so many easy layups in transition. We also talked about the fact of how things were so easy for for Logan in that half court, where some of the younger players' physicality was perhaps lacking. So those are the things I'm looking for here as we look to tip off the second half.
Yeah, I think Townsville are going to definitely need some scoring punch out of Froling. Harriet Carey, she needs to get on the board. She can, if she gets going, she'll offer a bit of a punch from the bench. She's actually out there starting. But Ward, Stevens, if they get their opportunity, they need to put some pressure on by putting some points on the board, making Logan defend. And Townsville got to look after the ball. I think that little run which created the 8-point was just on the back of some tired, sloppy passes, bad turnovers, and Logan, as you said, scoring really easily. So Townsville just need to make them work a bit harder in the half court as we're underway.
Calling the ball screen with Froling, and they're going to call Froling with the moving screen on Roof. For Froling, that's her second foul, not the set that Townsville was hoping to get coming out of the lengthy discussion with Coach Luke Brennan, who's not happy with it at all.
As we look at a few of the scorers in the first half, and Eliza Fabro leading Townsville with 11 points in the half in 12 minutes.
Ashtea knocks it down.
McCulley played the full 20 minutes in that first half, 9 points. And Alicia Froling also played the full 20.
Here's that zone that we talked about for Logan to be able to stymie Townsville's offense. Carey gives up the dribble. Oh, unlucky Lisa Brennan there, in and out. Strong cut from the 45 through the elbow. Carter, Taya. A lot more spacing there for Logan. Fuava tried to draw the foul, but they didn't reward her. Carey,
this is big for her, and she is on the board.
Townsville desperately needs someone to be able to have the confidence and the ability to knock down that corner three, and Harriet Carey puts her hand up and buries that triple, and it reduces the margin back to 7 for Townsville. All that weak action. Ashtea's money. She cannot have that much space to be able to knock down that jumper. She's too good.
And she's going to be well rested too with that early foul trouble, so she should be fresh for the second half. Carter with 10 points in the first half, and Roof with 16, so lead all scorers.
Brennan generating an extra possession there for Townsville off of a good shot. Here's Carey again. That time no good. Townsville now 1 of 3 from 3 to start the second half.
Roof had
poor communication there from Townsville on that ball screen, and Fuava just got all the way to the rim.
Roof's got 13 rebounds now to go with 18 points.
Sometimes you've got to be good to be lucky, but that turnaround jumper at that speed off the glass, great find. Taya did a good job of not fouling, and Froling couldn't convert. Alana Fraser will tip that ball out of bounds, but the pace certainly right now is probably favoring Logan.
Yeah.
They've extended the lead out to 11, 7:25 here left in the third quarter.
Early substitution, Carey out, and Shaylee Ward checking in.
Lisa Brennan hands on hips, Eliza Fabro hand on hips. Some obvious fatigue signs here. And this zone is just causing all kinds of problems. They switch it up there. Looked like a bit of a 1-2-2. Good box out there from Fabro. Alana Fraser over the back foul.
There's definitely some tired flames out there. Froling, like you say, hands on hips, really gasping in the big ones. And McCulley's going to slide to the 2, and they'll probably let Ward run the 1 here and give McCulley a little bit of a breather.
Corner 3 from Fabro is good.
Fabro is
up to 14. Leading scorer, willing to assume the mantle of the alpha. Oh, Ash Taya left wide open. I know how dangerous she can be. Immediately answers and reestablishes that Logan lead to 11. Ball screen, Ward, McCulley. It's good. And now all of a sudden, shots are dropping after a bit of a dour and slow first half. The women here have opened up in Townsville.
Great pass
great.
From
And they're going to say Ward kept moving forward. A bit of a press here, I would imagine, coming out of this free throw from Braden Hesselhurst.
I'm not sure this up-tempo is going to suit Townsville. I think it's more in Logan's favour, especially with the minutes being logged by the veterans on the...
Well, that's right. Nash Taya, who is in her prime, sat a lot of that first half with foul trouble and has just come out on fire here in the second.
Oh,
Lisa
Ruth gets
Brennan
an
missed her box out.
board off the free throw. That's a cardinal sin. And she is going to go to the line.
I mean, we've spoken a few times about Alicia Froling being an elite rebounder at this level, but Michaela Roof is certainly in that category. Yeah. Big, tall, strong, long-armed.
It's her size, and we see Maddie McDonald getting her first minutes. I would suspect that Coach Brennan's given her an assignment here to maybe
bash her.
Yeah, try and keep Roof in the next building.
Oh, Froling just elevates. Any other player, I reckon that's an offensive rebound again. It just came down in such a difficult position, but Froling is so long and so tall and strong. Ward, corner 3. Oh, I'm going to say there's something happened.
Blue 8. That Froling, yep. Third personal foul for Froling.
Oh, difficult position here for Townsville. Coach Brennan had already committed to bringing Lisa out.
Yep.
And now Alicia's picked up her third foul.
This is dangerous.
They'll drop down back to his own, but they are small and inexperienced at the moment.
And Froling's going to have to give up some, as we see a turnover with Fibro shakes it loose. She turns it over again, though. It's kept alive by Froling.
Tipped forward from Froling.
And McCulley misses she steals it.
What uncharacteristic
has one in the eye.
Series of play.
And all of a sudden, this will hurt. It's short.
Fabro just adding to her tally here. Froling just holding her head. I don't think she's quite right.
Ward misses the floater, and Roof picks up another board. She's still got some discomfort with that eye, but she looks like she'll be okay.
Coach Brennan here may wish to discuss a timeout if things get out of hand. And Roof buries a triple, extending the lead to 14 for Logan. Oh, and he signals to the bench that he wants a timeout.
Yeah. Rolling, that's a tough shot, and she's going to go.
It falls. What a strong move from Alicia Froling, fading away, left hand, throws it up on the glass, goes in, gets fouled. And she still is holding her head, though. So Alicia, one of the toughest young women that I know. So if she's in some level of discomfort, it's the legitimate degree of pain. Coach Brennan, however, refuses to acknowledge that, or perhaps doesn't recognize it, or recognizes the incredible durability that she has, and she'll stay in.
Yeah, she's locked in for 40 unless she fouls out. That's the way it's looking. I'm surprised that Kip Locks hasn't been given a few extra minutes just to to, I think, but Maddie McDonald's got her opportunity. So she'll need to do a job on keeping Ruth off the boards because she's putting together a very solid game.
And as much as we spoke about, Bree Stevens deserving an opportunity after what we saw in the live stream when we watched on Sunday, this is perhaps not the type of game that best suits her skill set. They need someone who's going to be able to come in and be aggressive, which she's great at, but also be able to be an offensive threat, which is still a skill set that she's looking to develop.
Yeah. And just looking at Ruth's statistics here, she has 22 points. It's on 10 of 14 shooting.
Wow.
And has 18 rebounds.
And there's still 14 minutes to play here.
Yeah. So we could be seeing something very special. Anytime you're getting...
Have we seen 40-40s? Is that a... No.
I'm not sure she's that
40
good.
40-30s?
Oh, that was a
Alicia Froling, yeah, well, she's been working on a shot, and buries it.
Townsville steal from Ward.
Oh, that length, the maternal length. Well, and that's what Townsville needed. They needed to be able to generate an extra possession. Great timeout. Foot violation there from Ruth. Because they chased this 11-point margin.
Yeah.
Great heads-up play from the young point guard, Shaylee Ward. McCulley. Oh.
Somehow got it back, and it won't go. That's been the story of Townsville's night,
hasn't it?
They have had balls
so many of those
around. They're going to rue that. They need those to go as Ruth gives to Carter in transition.
Great fake. Corner three, Alana Frazier, no good. Oh, good box. Yeah. They're going to call a foul
on Fraser.
On Frazier.
Yeah. Fraser
great energy from Alana Fraser, who's been away from the game for a few years. Been welcomed back to the Logan Thunder group and is playing a significant role for them. I wouldn't miss a chance to highlight her being a Townsville junior either.
Oh, we've got an offensive foul on McDonald now. On the pick for McCulley.
Against Fuava. Robes, am I saying that right? You let me know.
Oh, a nice pass. Ruth again misses the easy layup. Townsville off to the races. Fabro has it. Ward. She's tied up with it, gives to Froling. McCulley, good extra pass. Maddie McDonald.
Oh, kicks it out after attracting the triple team. I'm not sure what scouting report they're looking at.
5 on the shot clock. Great pass from McDonald, and Fabro. She can throw it in blindfolded at the moment. Liza Fabro putting together one of her better QBL games.
Oh, this is not the better.
Well, I think against Gladstone on the road, she knocked down 5.
She's the alpha though right now.
Yeah, but she's the one that's holding together as
she
Ward
has been
finds
the go-to
McCulley, who.
Oh, offensive rebound from Fabro. Has absolutely jinxed her.
Well, that's a.
Rachel McCulley, someone has put a hex on Rachel McCulley tonight. Has not been able to.
She just doesn't look comfortable on the layup now. It's.
And that's probably welcome. That's the timeout for Logan, but probably welcome for Townsville, who are struggling and have obviously felt comfortable with this shorter rotation in the absence of some of their really key players here tonight.
Just looking at Eliza Fabro, who we think is putting probably her best QBL game together. She is up to 16 on 7 of 10 shooting.
I've received another correction on this, on the pronunciation of this name. Michaela Khan is telling me it's Fui Arva.
That's what I said originally.
Well, I don't believe you.
Let's go back.
I think you threw me off.
No, I would have. That was Robes. Robes come back to you with the pronunciation. So.
Thank you, Michaela Donnelly, for setting us straight.
I said Fuiava because that's a great
Fuiava.
Yeah, Fuiava.
Right.
It's a great rugby league name.
Oh, right, okay.
But,
well, only one of us grew up here in this country, all right? So I'm relying on you for a lot of these things. Thank you, McDonald. On that note, Logan lead by 9, 51-42. 3 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Fabro struggling to get it in, throws it up. McDonald hands off to McCulley. 10 on the shot. Fabro.
Elbow. Oh, great. Great pass to McDonald, who can't convert under pressure. Lisa Brendan here will look to check back in for Townsville. Oh, Carter left wide open.
That's short. Fabro.
Another rebound for Fabro. Probes inside, Froling, McCulley.
That's a tough bucket, but she's going to make it.
Of all the shots she's taken and made,
Yeah.
that is the most difficult, but they need it.
But they needed one, that's right. That's the experience, leadership.
Townsville sing back into the zone here. Taya has it. 10 on the shot clock, Roof, short corner. She is money and confident in that shot. Natoa tried to sky for the rebound, got called for the foul.
Fabro doing a great job on the box out too. That's a couple of times she's had players come over her back and get their foul as Maddie McDonald checks out and Lisa Brennan back into the game in the final 2 minutes of this third period.
Both teams in the bonus here, so an opportunity for Townsville to peg back the lead off of the back of some good defensive possessions. They trail by 7, Fabro at the line for 2. Misses the first.
Ward versus Roof in a rebounding contest here.
Well, one of them is underfed. I don't want to point fingers. Shaylee Warden, who did a great job early on and has played a big minutes here in this third quarter.
Townsville just putting a half-court trap, just slowing Logan down. This is the tempo they want, but they need to contain here as Carter slices. Bays is back in. You know she'll let it go if she gets an opportunity.
Oh, John Fenwick with a foul call there.
Johnny's been out of the game for a little bit. He's decided to blow one. Let him know he's in the building. We see you, Johnny.
Danny Bays will go to the line here, shooting 2. I had the pleasure to scout Danny Bays. I've seen her a few times. I feel she's a player that's just been getting better and better every year. Works really hard at her craft.
Yeah, she's in the Derek Rucker stable. He's been putting a lot of work in with her. I remember her and Shaylee Ward played under 12s together, and she was a starting centre, Danielle Bays. So
oh, right.
She's
adapted
gradually
her
over
game.
the time she's had to learn to play on the perimeter, and yeah, she's definitely been putting in the work, and yeah, she's getting the results.
Oh, extra. Ward. No good. McCulley offensive rebound. She's all of a sudden come alive. Oh, here's Carey left wide open.
That's a good look. It's long, though.
No good this time.
And Ruth grabs another rebound. That'll have her up into nearly 20 rebounds, I would suggest, at this point.
And that's the difference between chasing, 7-point margins and, big block from Alicia Froling.
And another
one.
defensive play.
Hesselhurst happy with those calls.
Yeah.
Oh, and in transition, converts off the left hand.
Townsville got this thing back to 5.
And they'll have to hold on here. You know, like this third quarter, what happened at the end of that second quarter was Townsville leaked a few points and a manageable margin just sort of blew out to double digits. Taya, shot fake, Carter.
Had plenty of time to size it up, and she gets
great patience from Logan there to find the open shooter.
One shot here. Townsville, McCulley will get it in her hands. Be no 5-second play this time around. Natoa and Ward crosses her over,
change
gets
of
the rack,
pace.
and
Natoa got caught on that change of pace.
Little
kept
hesitation.
Coming forward. I'm told Mum could knock down free throws in her day. What about Dad?
Dad was a gun.
Dad was an absolute gun, right? Well, let's see
he's
if there's some paternal instincts here that might
career
kick in.
89.
89?
9% free throw shooter.
Really? In the QBL?
Yeah.
Wow. Well done. I mean, I don't know who Dad was, but
if you saw how many times he went in the paint, you know he didn't shoot a lot of free throws.
9 of 10 for his career.
He was the guy that used to hang on to the ball when they were fouling to put you to the foul line.
Ward goes 1 of 2 there, and Connor banks it in from halfway. Oh, what an absolute shot from Logan, as we're joking around, to extend the lead back out to 10 for Logan as Townsville cut it to 3.
Yeah, no, they had it down to 5. So that's going to hurt, that one.
What a shot from Carter. And if you're going to bring imports in, you want to be able to take and make those shots, and credit to her for being able to do it. But very much in the balance for both teams. 10-point margin, 58-48. So early on we saw in that third quarter an explosion, a bit of offense, but things slowed down a little bit.
Dried up again, yeah. And it's definitely got to be a fatigue factor after that long 15-minute halftime break. I think both teams come out with a bit of energy, especially Townsville, but McCulley hasn't had a rest. Frolling's logged up big minutes, so it's going to be hard to see them finish it off and claw back 10 points in a hurry. But you know, if they can just make a couple of outside shots, they've definitely got some star power there with Cully. Fabro's shooting the ball well, so yeah.
Southern Districts, while we speak about this in terms of other games of importance, they've extended their lead to 15 at Rockhampton. They now lead 60-45, 3:40 left in the third quarter.
Just having a look at some of the scorers at three-quarter time in this game, and Carter has 16, and Ruiff has 22, along with 19 rebounds.
So she's dropped off her pace for the 40-40 then, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she may get a 30-30 if that comes into play. And for Townsville, Eliza Fabro having a great game, leads Townsville scoring with 17.
A very needed 17 points. Townsville switch there. They've got McCulley on Roof.
Great help from Harriet Carey to come across and help McCulley.
But that just opened up everything, didn't it?
Yeah.
And we weren't able to contain, and
rotation.
Natoa just got straight to the rim from that.
Oh, and a soft turnover. Carey loses it. And this is Carter with Brennan on the outside the perimeter.
Danger time here for Townsville.
Taylor, let's go. A quick release. 3.
Big bucket from Logan.
That makes it difficult.
You know, points have been really hard to come by, so for them to give up 5 immediate points in the first minute for Townsville.
Brennan rips it and goes, and she has the younger Bays inexperience there, and Brennan plowed over the top of her and gets herself to the line.
Hesselhurst asking the question regarding the particular possession, suggesting that Bays had held position. Referee saw it different. That's the first time I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Coaches and referees not seeing eye to eye.
Happens rarely. Brennan misses the first. Townsville can't afford that. They need every bucket. That one's good.
Makes the second. Cuts lead to 14.
Townsville in this full court trapping defense, just trying to shake something loose, and they do.
Great job from Froling to jump up there.
Carey.
There's Carey off the bounce.
In the corner. McCulley, extra pass.
Oh, great extra.
That deserves to go in, but it's long. And Bays with a strong rebound.
The right shot selection there. It doesn't fall for Ward.
Great extra pass from McCulley. She just held it, and Taya slips, and Townsville swarm, and we'll have a jump ball, and the arrow possession to Townsville.
They've sat Fabro for that first minute, but they can't afford to for the rest of the quarter.
Yep.
She's been hot. She'll come back in. Ward will sit down. Liza, a product of the mean streets of the BDK.
Many a fine basketballer has walked the streets of the Vertigan.
And then they'll need big minutes and big production from Eliza. Trailing by 14 here. Oh, here's Froling getting the right hand. They're going to say Roof.
Late call from Johnny Fenwick. He's going to pick Roof for reaching.
Not necessarily a bad foul for Logan. It's unfortunate, and he'd be disappointed, but Froling has been around that 70% mark.
Yeah.
It was a wide open layup, so rather to test it from the free throw line than give up the open layup.
Roof only has the one personal foul, so she'd be happy to concede one now. Froling, that was very flat.
A bit rushed.
Just needs to get that thing up. She's wearing some tape,
yeah, so
tape on that right hand wrist, so that may be causing some discomfort, because even her free throws earlier that did go in were like line drives. Roof against Brennan. She'll look to take her on. I think she's.
Oh, good swipe there from McCulley.
A great pass.
Stuck in from Natoa.
Oh.
Great rotation. Yep, a late call, but it's the right call.
Yeah,
it's the right call. Froling kept coming forward.
Yep.
A big foul, though, for Alicia. That's her fourth. And Brennan with a decision here to make. Does he keep her in? Well, I would, and he doesn't. So I was going to go with him. I was going to support his decision to keep her in. But they're trailing by 13 points here.
Was that tape on her wrist at the start of the game, or was that something?
No, it was there from the beginning.
Yeah,
so
okay,
she may have picked up an injury while she was over with the emerging opals.
Because she was in pain earlier on in the game. I thought she may have had some contact there during this game, but definitely has an impact on her shooting, I would think. As Bays comfortably makes it and pushes the lead back out to 15. We see Logan up the floor.
Just a bit of a delay. Referee just discussing with the bench regarding something inconsequential.
Yeah.
And now we're back operating. Oh, spin move from Brennan, left hand. Roof is too long. Oh, McDonald
had her arms taken out. And that's going to see Natoa lay it in at the other end.
Big possession there from Logan. Brendan wants to talk it over and ask why that wasn't a foul.
I think he's questioning why the game was stopped. It's something to do. I'm not sure what the reason was. But he's
a good opportunity there for Brendan to have a word with the referee, possibly generating an extra possession. Or foul for definitely not happy. It did not end on good terms.
No.
Well, John Fenwick here as the senior referee may decide to take control.
I think, well, it's interesting.
Are you saying Maddie Crowley might be the senior referee?
She's the senior referee in this one, Mike.
Oh,
She's definitely the senior referee.
Maybe I'm just holding something. Nonetheless, here we are. Townsville trailing by 17. 7:37 left in the fourth quarter. Dire straits.
Yeah, it's hard to see Townsville getting themselves back in from this margin. They just don't have the firepower. If you could check in Cox and Bishop and that now, maybe they could run this down. But it'll be interesting to see what Coach Brennan does. Does he put the young guns
interesting.
on? And there he is. He's Browning's on. He's put Bree Stevens into the game. He's got
and just sort of signaling that we're going to give the young guns a chance to get some experience, to get some minutes.
Yep.
You know, chase down a lead, execute a game plan. I love the move from Luke Brennan here.
He's got nothing to lose, and good opportunity because Logan certainly haven't rested any of their key players. They're all out there, so this is a good test for the younger Townsville Flames group as McDonald probes. Browning gets a three from long, and she
buries the triple. Way to reward your coach for having confidence in you. Shayla Browning buries the three-point shot there.
Switching now, she's got the matchup on Roof. That'll be a big one as Taya.
I would imagine they're just going to pinch in a lot. And Roof, big offensive rebound.
Browning did everything she could to box out, but it didn't matter.
I think Fabro ended up on that matchup as well.
Yeah.
So, but you know, a lot of these smaller bodies, they probably need 5 or maybe 7 or 8 of them to box out Roof.
Well, she needs to stand on Eliza's shoulders to compete.
Logan converts the N1, increases the lead back to 17.
Bree Stevens, 8 on the shot. Fabro, she'll get it up.
Kick it out to Carey. Carey's long on the 3.
And now she gets back. Good D from Harriet in transition.
And it just sort of is baiting a little bit of this Logan into thinking, oh, well, it's a bunch of young kids. Maybe we can make the 17-point lead 25. And they are quality players here for Townsville. Off the left hand, here's Stevens.
Great job
she
from
converts
Bree
off the left hand.
And
great move.
That is Bree Stevens to a T. The slash, the rip left.
And that is exactly what happens when you're playing 17-year-olds.
Yep.
As you might make a great layup and everyone stands around and high-fives each other, and you give up a layup down the other end.
And great for Bree Stevens on the offensive end. That's been her bread and butter. A natural right-hander, yet is a left-hand finisher of
Don't give the skating report
quality.
away. I might coach her again in the future. So, step back from Fabro. Fabro trying to generate some offense there for her team.
It's nearly a turnover in the backcourt. And
love the aggression there from Browning.
Interesting
getting
stuff
up and
from
in.
Coach Brennan. He's bringing the 3
vets back in.
Yeah, it's an interesting move. I would have thought maybe down 17 to, maybe he didn't want to let this one blow right out, and I'm not sure what the percentage, whether the percentage points comes into it in the finals.
Matchups against in the head-to-heads where you don't play each team twice.
Yep.
It really doesn't have as much bearing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not sure, but it may be a moral thing.
Yep. Just to get obviously wants a strong finish. Drag this thing as Fabro. She's going to try and keep it close and nothing but air, but a great pass from Carey, but all of a sudden Fabro's gone cold.
Yeah, Townsville here just without some of their key scorers. You mentioned early on, lacking 50 points per game. Some other players just trying to step into some roles that they aren't necessarily comfortable with, and that's reflected in this the points total of 55 here for Townsville with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Brennan for 3, no good.
Good athleticism from Natoa, but unluckily she's lost the ball.
A fair call there from Braden Hesselhurst, just asking why that wasn't a foul on Carey for pushing the player out of bounds. But such are the decisions that are made when the scoreboard is 55 to 72, and
you'll find less calls are made now as referees want this one to be over, as well as McCulley fires for 3 and she drains it. Margin back to 14.
Much needed points there from Townsville.
McCulley still working over Carter.
Carter, who's playing at center.
All contact lenses. And she lets it go from deep.
Oh, so lack of commitment there in terms of securing the defensive rebound. Luke Brennan not happy.
Someone's getting taken out over that thing, and steal from Brennan. She looks ahead to Froling, who should lay it up, and does. Margin back to 12, so
respectable.
Yep, they've brought it back from 17. It's got out to as much as 17. Substitution of the vets in, and Taya.
Good no call from the referee there. Actually, I'll give him the credit for that one.
Yep. She indicated the flop. She had the flop movement going, so.
I'm not sure about that, but I prefer the no call until the referee decided we needed to go over the top. Taya had an established position early on. Nice spin move.
Yeah. Definite no call. Right by the referees. So just checking on this rebounding step for
And as you check in on those stats, I'm going to check in on the district's Cyclone score, and districts asserting their dominance on the road. They now lead by 19 as the score refreshes. They led at 20 at the fourth quarter mark. The Cyclones have scored the first two, but they now trail 56-75. So Spartans are showing to be themselves the dominant force again in the QBL this year. Ajaparam, off of 9 shots, has 27 points. 9 shots, 27 points. That's such is the contributions that the likes of Ajaparam can offer.
And here it's been Taya with a big second half. She was obviously quiet the first half with foul trouble, but she's up to 16 points at 53%. Roof has just continued on, 25 points and 22 rebounds.
Big night, just.
And for Townsville, they've dried up a bit. McCulley's got herself up to 17 points, and Fabro's still on 17, lead Townsville scoring. Frolling with 12 points. It's good output for her as Fabro misses another.
Big board from Froling. But as you were talking about earlier, would we be better off with Froling going up with her size off of that offensive rebound, looking to draw the contact in the N1?
Yeah. She's 12 points on 5 or 6 shooting, so she certainly doesn't overshoot it. It's very, very efficient. And,
how many shots?
6 shots.
6 shots.
She's 5 or 6. Yeah. That's where I think she needs to take more shots.
She's an elite level talent.
Because she's going to shoot the ball from 5 feet and under from the hoop.
She's
so
6'3". She's strong. She's long.
She has 12 rebounds, 5 offensive. So I mean, off those 5 offensive, she should be probably putting 2 or 3 of those back, easily. So Towns will continue to full court pressure, trying to
cut the lead to 13 here, but at 2-2-1. Logan with lots of time and space to be able to find a great shot.
Great pass.
Fuyava. Can't give her.
And Brennan hits a 3.
What Fuyava couldn't do, Brennan does. Cuts the lead to 8-10.
And just the intensity's picked up here. Townsville really hustling, but you feel like they get.
And they're going to call an offensive foul there. Great work from Alicia Froling.
A little nervousness creeping in for.
And this sense of urgency that Townsville has all of a sudden displayed, you have to wonder where was this for the other 37 minutes of the game.
As Brennan lets go a massive 3.
Another one!
And it's back to
deep
7.
3. Hasselhurst wants to talk it over. What a comeback here from Townsville.
7.
And that's what we want to see. Well, now it's anyone's game.
And who
a 7-point game, 2:14 left here in the fourth quarter.
And who was questioning the subbing of the veterans coming back on at 7 minutes?
I don't know. It wasn't. Was it
5
me?
minutes.
It was both of us.
Yeah.
It was both of us. Some great substitutions there from Luke Brennan.
Yeah. Browning with a big 3.
Browning with a big 3. Just a few minutes for those veterans to just gather their thoughts, gather their breath. Yep. We talked about them playing some big minutes. They've certainly contributed here. They cut the lead to 7. 2:14 left. I know that most of the game Logan has had everything go in their favor, but they're on the road here.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the question in their minds around, hey, what do we do?
And the crowd noise levels, and they just start to increase. It's been pretty flat because Townsville have been trailing, but there's a sense of momentum here for Townsville,
and he sticks with the group. So he comes back with Browning,
and
with Fabro.
Are we going to see the full court pressure?
It looks like he's dropped back for this possession at least.
Yeah. So McCulley's really working
the center,
and they're going to double the ball, some sort of matchup. Froling.
Big block from Froling.
There
Roof.
she is.
They're going to say they tied her up. How much? 8 seconds here left on the shot clock.
Contested.
They show zone. No, they go to man.
Taya.
Taya. Just showing that veteran move, just
Slices
ripping from the left, finishing on the right. Big basket there from Logan. Here's McCulley.
Oh, she can't.
She gets blocked.
Brennan reaches in, and Taya is off. Logan.
Yep. Good move from Taya there to pull the ball out, recognizing they're up by 9. McCulley fouls.
McCulley's not happy with that. She felt she was not given the foul at the other end, and now she picks up a soft one. And Coach Brennan reinforcing that same message.
Message not received, I believe.
They're still here. They've got to pressure up here. Froling needs to time. They need force something here. It's down to 7. Roof's a long way from the hoop. She's going to let the 3 ball fly, and that looks good from here.
Oh,
wow,
big basket from Michaela Roof off the left hand.
We were right behind that. That was good from the moment it left her hand as McCulley tries to answer quickly at the other end. And Brennan is going to get it over the back foul.
And we're Townsville arguing for the fact that she'd held the ball for 5 seconds. I think she needs to be guarded.
Yeah, you got to have pressure on you. You can stand out there if no one's around. They don't want to guard you. You can hold it for as long as you like.
And that'll lock up this win here for Logan. They take possession. They're up by 12. 1:07. A really big win for them on the road.
Yep. This wide open 3 is
off the back,
Fuiava. It's Fuiava.
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 Look, another 3 or 4 games, I'm going to get this right.
Fuiava.
Fuiava. Big 3 off the backboard.
You'll be saying that in your sleep tonight.
I'm going to try it.
Townsville, after all that hard work, it's back out to 15 as Brennan rocks back on the 3, and it's no good. And there would be rebound number 24.
24. The obvious MVP for Logan, Michaela Roof. 24 rebounds, 20-plus points.
She's at 20.
Oh, and they're going to call an intentional foul there on someone.
She's up to 28 points and 23
Shout
rebounds.
out to Brad Can, who's tuning in from Tasmania. Brad, I hope you're still alive. I hear it's really cold in Tasmania at this time of the year. My thoughts and prayers are with you.
Even colder after going to Darwin for 10 days and then going back
and
to
warming
Tasmania.
up. Brad Can, one of my favorite coaches.
Great basketball identity is Mr. Can. Spent a lot of quality time here in Townsville developing our junior program. And now Tasmania benefiting from his passion for basketball as Coach Brennan and the Townsville bench being warned from refs have had enough.
Right. Well, I think that's been a few years in the making, if I can be completely honest. And actually, I can be completely honest because I'm not held to account to anyone at this stage. So here's another free throw to come up because the refs need to be seen here tonight.
I can see the bookmakers winding in their odds on Luke Brennan picking up a technical foul here in this last 35 seconds as he's peeling paint off Maddie's ears. And after all that hard working, reducing that margin, it's back out to that 16 where it was earlier. But we see some substitutions, and we've got 3 under 18.
The all-teenage group.
The 4 under 18.
The all-teenage group. Deflection.
Browning grabs it.
That was obviously out of bounds, but it doesn't matter.
Ainsley and Oak straight on, instant coffee.
Shot fake to Ward. It's good!
Just like 29 and 24.
29 and 24.
Our trouble early, so they'd be really happy with that, Logan, and that's sitting 6th on the ladder before this round. That's going to hold them in good stead, especially heading into Cairns. They'd be pretty confident about picking up a W against a Dolphins team that struggled.
Well, and for Townsville, I suppose, not too unexpected to be an underdog at home, missing 3 key players. You mentioned 50 points per game, but not only that, like some veteran leadership, some size, in some minutes where people are expected to play some roles that they're not accustomed to.
And they've built good momentum over their winning stretch, but I mean, tonight was a totally different look for that group, and They hung tough, and they did show in the last. They showed some fight in the last quarter, but in the end, their lack of depth definitely showed. And there's some quality on that other team. Ruth was outstanding, and she was backed up well by Carter and Taya. So
absolutely.
And
Fuiava, who I'm just going to keep practicing her name, came in, banked the 3. I started the game for them, so credit to Logan.
And you can see with Donnelly, in that group as well. That's why they're sitting, as current finalists.
That being said, I would hate to be one of those 1 to 3 teams watching Townsville lose these games, knowing that they could sneak into the playoffs, and they could grab one of those 6, 7, 8 seeds, and be facing on the road with a full strength Abby Bishop, Alicia Froling, Alex Fowler, Brennan, Cox, McCulley, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt on a full roster, Townsville's full roster, they're competing with Southern Districts, and they're the next in line, if not equal, with a full roster. They had a slow start. They've changed, had an import out, replaced. So, they're definitely going to be dangerous wherever they finish, whether it's 3rd to 8th.
Well, and certainly in terms of cementing spots, I'm just checking as you were discussing that. The Southern Districts look like they've locked up number 1. They've gone on the road. There's 3 minutes left here against Rockhampton on the road with I believe, almost full-strength Rockhampton team. They're up by 20.
Yeah.
So
they're clearly.
So Southern Districts,
if you're
they're going to lock up that number 1 seed. Rockhampton look like on the back of that loss, they'll probably be number 2.
Yeah, well, they were sitting second coming into this thing. They had a game.
So nothing's going to change there.
No.
Ipswich don't own the tiebreaker with Townsville, so they would need a few results to go their way.
And you look at the top 8. There's a 2-game break. So the Seahawks currently in 8th before this round. It looks like the top 8 is probably going to stay that way. It's just a matter of where the numbers fall and where do you think. And in saying that, the team that draws Townsville, who may not finish in the top 3 or 4, are going to have an unlucky draw because Townsville haven't, as we mentioned earlier, haven't been able to put their full-strength team together at any one point in time during this year. So, they've got the most experienced lineup. They've got national Opals players. They've got Kiwi international players, and they've got a veteran in McCulley and a veteran.
Well, they pretty much have it all. If you're putting a team together, you'd say I've got size, I've got shooting, I've got veteran leadership, and I've got depth.
And they've got they've got that good group of under-18 girls who are equal to any under-18 players in the state. So so they've got it covered, and it's just a matter whether they can. Put it all together. But
speaking of state recognition, it pains me to recognize this, but Cairns basketball. Cairns basketball take away the Vince Hickey Trophy
by 1 point.
By 1 point. Again
to Townsville.
That's the second time in 3 years. Money Mike.
He's got his hands on the vote somewhere there.
Something has happened. Anyhow, congratulations to Cairns basketball who have won the Vince Hickey Trophy, which is a recognition of the junior representative program here in Queensland for the most successful junior rep program. Townsville basketball, second again. They won it last year, second this year. They finished second the year before, so very much in the mix. But I just wanted to give my shout out to Cairns basketball. So on behalf of myself and Carl Ward, that's it for our women's game. We will be back in an uncertain amount of time as I look to start my phone up.
22 minutes.
About 22 minutes, our men's game will tip off, which means we'll be back in about 20 minutes so time. Thank you.